So just thought I'd say hi today. It's been a tough battle, this bus, believe it or not. For some it might be easy, but it's hard. So we're starting to get to the fun stuff and my vision's coming alive. Lots of ups and downs, lots of changes made along the way, but I did have an idea in my head what I wanted. My husband generally says yes to me, but he did not like me using the textured paint. I'll flip around so you can... Oh, it won't let me flip. Anyway, I'll show you in a minute. We've used it before in a bathroom that was peeling on the roof, and you would have spent hours sanding it, which we did not want to do, and the owner of the rental property wanted it done as quick as possible. So I had the idea of using the textured paint. I remember our schools used to have textured paint roof and things like that, so I know it looks good. So I wanted as much texture in my bus as I could get. There was an American couple that has a big massive bus and they've got everything you could think of but the textured paint. But I love the idea of having texture everywhere you look. I didn't want to have a plain bus, a white bus. I wanted to have something interesting, so everywhere you look there was something new. I haven't got to the end yet and I'm still adding ideas. Our main colour's black, as people have seen. My partner is 6'4", which you may have seen in the videos. He literally can't stand up, and I originally wanted that van ceiling that's got the fabric on the back and the strips of wood. I thought that that looked fantastic and I wanted to be different. But he said, no, I don't want to have to cover up the joins. You'll see joins, it will irritate me because they're not very long. You can't get the full length of the bus. So that was a bit disappointing. So then we went for what most people are doing, the panel roof. And he said, oh, but I don't want a white roof. And I didn't really want a white roof, but he said black, and I sort of went, oh gee, I don't know. But I saw a photo of a tiny home for sale, and I could probably link it in here, and it had a shiny black roof in a tiny home and it looked awesome. I went, okay, yep, we'll do your black roof. And I looked on IKEA months and months and months ago for kitchens and things like that, and one of their photos, which I can link in, is my inspiration. But they discontinued the top cupboards, which I really wanted. I wanted to be extremely different, so I had to start again. So we went for plain black cupboards, lots of lovely wood. So we were initially going to have the wooden cupboards in the kitchen and then maybe the black top. So we've just flipped it. And the wood that I chose goes really good with brass. So I was in Bunnings one day, we live in there, you know, a business, and I found these really beautiful knobs, and I just said, I've got to have them. If we don't use them, we'll just bring them back. And they've been going quite well. We'll wait till we get to the kitchen to see if the kitchen ones look alright. But the wood's got a fleck of yellow brass through it, so far it's working really well. So that wood that's up on the back cabinet that you've seen, that'll be the kitchen bench, that'll be the table, that might be our step. I'm asking him to build a shoe holder at the door. I'm hoping he will. Maybe under the third seat will be boxed in with the same wood, not sure yet. There'll be like coffee table bench tops. I don't know how to explain it. Where the table is, a lot of people have little ones. There'll be that at the dining table, in the shower. Where else? So there's going to be wood everywhere. And the reason I want to do the texture paint, because I didn't want walls. I was like lots of people say, oh, you get a Toyota Coaster bus, it's all the windows. So I wanted everything window. They said, no, we're traveling with a boy, I want my privacy. And I went, yep, okay. So I gave in, and he said, I want a wall at the front door to put all my monitors on. I went, yeah, okay. So I gave in, and that's where the idea of the textured paint came in, because if they were gonna be in my face, I wanted them to look really good. So he hated the idea and has whinged for months when I keep saying the word textured paint, because we did put it in a bathroom and it got all over us. But the bathroom looks fantastic when we're finished. But he just walked out today after I was doing one wall and said, I really like it. And I said, see, you gotta trust me, because we do have the same taste. But he couldn't see it. So the texture paint will probably be on the seats in the dining as well. The backboard for the dining will probably be stained. We're not 100% sure yet. We'll go as we design. We were going to have cabinets, as I said, with the IKEA, but then I couldn't get it. So I said to him, I think I'd prefer open ones now, because I can't have what I wanted. So they'll probably be lacquered, the same colour but different wood. I'm trying to bring more brass in, so there might be bookshelf holders underneath, and I don't know, maybe a brass chain. I wanted no chain or no boards. He's going to see how he goes, but if it warps a little bit, I'm thinking brass chain. There's these really big ones I've already got saved. Otherwise, if I don't have a chain, I want to have brass edging instead of the wood edging. So that's just design features that'll change as we go. We're not sure. Our kitchen's quite nice. We loved, well, I love particularly, but husband agrees, the square drawers. I didn't want it to be a normal looking kitchen. I love those little square drawers. So we've pretty much got them everywhere but in the oven space, and we're able to get a full-size pantry, which I really wanted. That was a requirement. Showers was meant to have a white base in it, but Anthony watches all the YouTube like I do, and he saw people saying that they crack over time. I don't really want to do it. Let's go back to scratch, because he can build anything. So we're going to build it ourselves. I saw one person that had the floating wood floor in there, which I think looks awesome. So it'll either be tiled or the floating wood floor. I already have all my tiles, which are a light grey blue. So it is like a creamy brown. It is black. There's the brown in the wood. There is brass, and there is grey blue tiles. I don't know if I'll add any more colours. I haven't decided yet. The bedspread might be grey and blue. But yeah, I just thought I'd say hi, because I'm starting to feel a bit better about this whole build. It's been really hard on my husband, which stresses him out, which stresses me out. So it's not fun building a Toyota coaster bus at all, and it costs an absolute fortune. Yeah, so I'll leave it at that. We're going to start trying to talk more. You notice that you've seen Anthony talk a bit. I haven't really been in the mood, going through stuff with work, stuff with home. The bus build's been hard on me, so we're going to try to start talking to you guys a bit more, get to know you, because hopefully we'll get to travel in this bus and show you so many things. It's not funny, and we are a little bit different than most. Yeah, so please comment down. I love saying hi. Any questions, happy to answer. See you next time.
Yeah. They're up there. Have you got enough tape? Have you got enough tape? No? Oh, okay. You only got like that. I'll do my hand. When the stop is done, you're going to go all through the paint. I'll just put my hand quickly. Show you off the paint. Yeah, do that paint. to wait until you.
Yeah. Just in case.
Yeah. I'll set. You want to set this one up and that one with the same brush on it?
Yes, please. good roller first, and it was not great, which is one of these but small. It didn't want to roll. It's like the paint's not wet enough that it won't roll. And I eyed off these ones, you know, the smooth, and he goes, oh no, they won't work. I said, just let me try. That was the best, believe it or not. And then we had these smaller ones that he was trying to get behind the arm for the opening door, and they were a bit more bumpy, bubbly, sort of. They're probably like, you know, the one that comes with the Bunnings pack, but in small. It wasn't as good either. It didn't give you as much texture. So believe it or not, the finest roller was the best one for the texture paint for me. Also, another tip, my tip, you might want to do it differently. Heaps on your roller, like pack it on. To do the edges, put it on obviously the tip of the roller and pack it in there and spread it out. But yeah, do one roll and pack another lot on. Another roll, pack it. If you watch the video, you'll see I'm constantly dunking the roller in the paint. It doesn't spread very well. It will give the poos. So yeah, keep dunking. It only does like a foot at a time. So you really wet the roller up, and then it'll do like a foot. And so I had to do like 5 across, for example. I had to dunk the roller 5 times to get a foot down, and then smooth it out, if that makes sense. So I just want to put that in there. That's my tip to use it. You might find an easier way, but there you go. Just thought I'd put that in. Leighton. This is Leighton, by the way, if anyone's interested in dogs. I know a lot of people are. He's actually a real pain in and gets under our feet the whole time. So, Leighton, look. Say hi. You'll probably see a lot of him. He wasn't initially allowed to come travelling because he's my dog, but he's giving in, so he'll end up having the dog bed on here. Oh yeah, he's got the dog bed sitting on the seat at the moment to try to keep him out of the way because he's just getting underfoot all the time.